Good evening. In our news bulletin for tonight, the Chief Electoral Officer reminds voters of the procedures leading up to Election Day. The Health Department raises awareness about the importance of immunization. The national sporting body makes changes to management with the resignation of the president and need for elections to proceed next year. The end of the official cyclone season leaves the Pacific relatively unscathed, despite predictions for more intense cyclones. Niue's national general elections are days away, and there is an overwhelming number of common role candidates. Campaigning is also in full swing this week, with pamphlets and flyers being distributed. There are even campaigns capitalizing on free social media platforms. The Broadcasting Corporation has also offered candidates time on television and radio. As the island prepares to head to the polls and the Justice Department is set to conduct the general elections that is held every 3 years. At the close of withdrawals last week, it was confirmed that there were 23 common role candidates. 11 villages will be heading to the polls for their village constituent, and there are 1,120 eligible registered voters on the roll. The Justice Department has just completed a run of all the ballot papers, with about 1,120 for the village seats and about 1,250 for common roll votes. There are tally papers, forms and other signs for polling booths as well. According to the Chief Electoral Officer, Hubert Kaloni, this time round a record 23 names has proved challenging, trying to ensure that all names can fit on one page, and the font size has been minimized a bit to make these allowances. Voters have also been reminded that in order to vote, they must cross out the names of those candidates who they do not wish to vote for and leave 6 remaining. If voters leave more than 6 names, those votes will be counted as invalid. Arrangements have also been made for those who departed on today's flight and for Friday's flight to be eligible to vote early before they leave the island. Justice staff will also vote early on Friday, while the remainder of voters can cast their votes on Saturday when the polling booths open and they close at 6 in the afternoon. Police staff are also preparing to work on Election Day, with members who will be stationed at the different polling booths around the island to maintain peace. The elections are a matter of days, and all campaigning will conclude on Friday afternoon. Niue Public Health has joined a global campaign through the World Health Organization to push for more people to be immunized for protection from a number of diseases and viruses. The vaccination program started last week during Vaccination Week, with different activities to motivate parents to get their young children vaccinated through using social media and also conducting talks with senior students of Niue High School.
The key message of this week was vaccines work, and we can all see the proof of that in our children and within our population as well, from adults to kids, because we have also been immunized ourselves, and that we haven't had any cases reported of any of these infectious diseases, the ones well known as measles, mumps, rubella, diphtheria, tetanus, and so forth.
The human papillomavirus vaccine is for those aged between 9 to 26 years old, and the vaccine is known to prevent mouth, cervical, prostate, anal, and throat cancer.
This topic is a bit sensitive to some of the parents because it's a sexually transmitted infection, the human papillomavirus vaccine. But the point is, we are preventing this infection, and one of the main causes of this infection is genital warts. Yeah, so I think this is just one of the main reasons why parents would not agree, because it's a sensitive topic.
The chickenpox vaccine is also one of the new injections that will be rolled out in July by the Niue Public Health Division.
It's very important that they get this vaccine because it causes cancer, So it causes cervical cancer, prostate cancer, cancer in the mouth, cancer in the throat, and yeah. So and we've had recorded numbers of these type of cancers within our own island in the past 5 years, and this can be prevented amongst our own people. So we strongly recommend that this vaccine be given to the eligible population at the moment. The effects for children, if their immunization, their immune system changes when they're from babies to toddlers or even to adulthood. So that's why we keep giving the vaccines at different stages, because they keep getting that booster. So what happens if they miss out on certain vaccines? It just means that their body is not well covered, because those antibodies will wear out eventually.
The Public Health Division will hold school-based programs for senior students and community-based programs about the new vaccines to understand the effects and the benefits and the risks if people do not get vaccinated. Internal management issues with the island's national sporting body has seen the executive committee make a bold move to change their leadership. On the 19th of March this year, a special meeting was called by the Niue Island Sports Commonwealth Games Association Executive Committee, where the President, Alan Turner, was removed and stood down from the position. The unprecedented move is within the parameters of the group's constitution and has seen a reshuffle of duties.
There are certain articles in the constitution which give us that power to do that, and also to look at the constitution and how that power was exercised. And we have the power to point out, hey, this is not right, this is not right, this is not right. So the Constitution allows us to remove any member of the executive at any time if there are questions that needs to be answered. After the removal of the president, I stepped up from my role as the senior vice president as well as a legal advisor to be president. Spearhead too moved up from vice president to senior vice president, and Moira Jackson is still the vice president. Now there's one short at the moment. Hagen Sioskefu is the assistant secretary general, and Charles Johanne remains as the treasurer. So there are technically two positions vacant at the moment. Now we're looking at the General Assembly in 2018 for the next election of the Executive Committee.
The changes in the executive also affected another role the former president held in the past, taking teams on regional or international sporting competitions. But the new president believes that will not be a problem as they work to move forward.
The role of Safety Mission is a responsibility of the Executive Committee. They appoint or name a person to fill that role. It's not a given. So it is our decision as the executive to do that. In terms of association with other sporting bodies in the region and in the Commonwealth, nothing has changed. I think there was a sigh of relief when they were informed of the removal of the president. We have sporting fixtures that we are looking forward to. First, the Commonwealth Youth Games in Bahamas in July this year, and then in September from 17th to 27th there is the Asian Games to be held in Turkmenistan, and in December there is the Pacific Mini Games in Vanuatu. So next year we're looking at the Commonwealth Games in Gold Coast, Australia. So those are the things we're working on to prepare our athletes and also to look for the money.
Despite the internal management squabbles, the committee are thankful for Mr. Puliusi's service over the years and look forward to continue paving the way forward for sports development on the island. The official cyclone season ended on the 30th of April and the Pacific region has emerged relatively unscathed. From November to April, communities in the Pacific are on their alert for strong wind warnings and tropical cyclones. Predictions by meteorologists last year estimated that the region would be affected by at least 10 tropical cyclones and that the intensity of cyclones would increase. There were a few tropical depressions, but those dissipated, and the region has been quite fortunate that there haven't been many or as many cyclones as predicted. Although the official cyclone season may be over, cyclones can still occur outside the normal season but are very rare, and communities have been warned to be vigilant at all times. And those are our news stories that we have for you this evening. Do join us again for our next news bulletin on Thursday.